My name is Moyra Davey, and I sent this small notebook as my contribution, and it's something that I use in my work. I've been using the same type of notebook for over 10 years. I think I just found it in a stationery store, but I picked it because on some level, unconscious or subconscious level, it reminded me of a notebook that I had as a child that was probably a gift. I think it had a flower on the cover or something like that. I still can't remember exactly what the notebook was. It's a kind of almost Proustian memory in the sense that it gives me a tiny hint of a memory, but not quite. It's like it's a memory that hasn't fully resolved itself in my mind. But every time I open it to write, I get a little kind of glimmer of that memory, and there's something kind of well, there's something very interesting about that, and I feel like one day the memory will clinch itself. And but anyhow, that's just a bit of backstory. Essentially, it's a notebook that I use that I carry with me in my bag, and if I get an idea, I'll, on the subway, for instance, I'll write it in here, or if I'm reading something, and I'll make a note, or I'll sometimes use it as a journal. And then when if I have an idea that that inspires me, I'll put a star beside it, and then I'll come back to it and insert it. Perhaps insert it into a text that I'm writing, a text that will become the narration for a video. So it's an object that can sometimes hold a lot of promise. Like if there's a star, then that's a good thing, and then it becomes a kind of, for me anyhow, a kind of magical object. And I thought maybe by sending it to you, it would, I don't know, something of that would be conveyed to you and your students. The material of my work, it's, I guess, three things. It's photography. That's what I've been doing the longest. That's where I had my training in art school. Then also video and film. At a certain point, maybe over 10 years ago, I decided that I wanted to take a break from making photographs, which I've been doing since around 1979, and work in video. Well, I wanted to write. It was after 2001 in New York, which I experienced. I was quite close when it happened, and I decided I wanted to write about it, and hopefully that writing would then become a video. And so I took a break from photography. I wrote. I made a video that became 50 minutes. That's the title. So yeah, basically those three things: photography, writing, and film and video. When I got ideas for the writing, I might note them in this type of notebook. Essentially that piece of writing, 15 minutes, it was very easy to write because it had a beginning and an end. I knew the beginning and the end already. And but sometimes I'd be on the subway, and I'd think of something that I wanted to add to the writing that I'd already was in process. So I might note it down in here, and then when I got home, I would enter it into the text that I was working on.